Welcome to another edition of World Music. Today I'm so happy to have in our presence in the studio Pastor Kwame Champo, a renowned musician, a psalmist, and everything that you can think about. Welcome to Top Sphere Studio, Pastor Kwame. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. I'm so glad to be here, and this is an amazing place. I can't wait to come back.
Yes, you are. It's your house. Let's dive straight in. What is a Christian music or gospel music?
Thank you very much. So Christian music is not just music, it's worship. So it has some elements to it. It must be of a right motive. It must be centered biblically, and it also must be something that is approached not anyhow, but is approached as in, I'm going to deliver this to God. Not like singing to a woman or singing for a patriotic reason, but this is singing to God. So it is with that reverence that you approach Christian music. So when all those elements are in, then we're talking about a Christian music.
So I have another one. Does Christian music have to follow a particular trend, a particular beat that you can call it Christian music? Does it have to have, because when growing up in Ghana, when I listen to Kofi Abraham, I'm like, oh, that's gospel. Or somebody can listen to a song and say, it got church in it. So is there a particular beat that have to qualify a music to be a Christian music?
All right, very good question. Actually, Christians are a group of people, and we tend to have our own culture. So we shouldn't get caught up with the culture of the Christians and also what is the Christian music. Because like I was thinking about before, when Christian music started in the villages, there were no instruments. So they will be playing their local instruments and these kind of sounds. So for me, when I look at Christian music, the lyrics, the instrumentation is really a culture thing, not a spiritual thing. So there is no setting as a Christian tone or a Christian string or something, but just that when it's associated with that kind of music, we get adapted to it and we automatically gravitate towards like the big church organ. As soon as you hear it, you are thinking about Orthodox Church, but it's just because that's what they've been using. So I wouldn't put us in a box and say that there is a specific music that is Christian. It's just that what we are used to is what people tend to call Christian sound.
Okay, very good. And another question. I keep saying another question. We listen to Christian music, we get motivated, we change our lives. The people behind the music sometimes are questionable, very questionable. We hear them on the news, we hear them everything. Is it a culture of do what I say but don't do what I do? What is your take on that with these people?
It's a big problem, but what I can say is that historically we have had the purpose of Christian music shift from worship to business, and so we have a lot of people that are in the music industry purposely to sell. And so with that, the producers look for gift, not character. And so when that happens, you end up having a lot of people that can sing, but they're not doing right. And so the first thing I would say is that is not good. But on the other hand, you also don't want somebody who cannot sing at all. You understand? Just that because you have a good character.
But Pastor God said, "I'll raise stones if nobody's."
And so that's a good point. But the purpose of music is to take the people closer to God. You understand? So the whole idea is that the message will transport you to God. And so, like I said, if I transport the church to God and my character is not right, the people will get to God all right, but I might not receive my blessing. So I would say that it's not good for us to encourage people without character, but we should work on their character instead of using people who cannot sing at all to try to, because it's very painful to listen to people who cannot do what will bring glory to God, because I believe God likes a song done well. That's why David will select a great number of choristers in the Old Testament. He had over 200 people that full time they were to perfect the skill of singing and praise God with it. So it's a big deal that we have people that are talented and also have a good character.
Okay, so I have something that in my mind that I really wanted to ask you. Can you listen to a jazz, or can I create a jazz and say that this is a Christian jazz and name it maybe Heavenly Father in Christian jazz? Is there supposed to be some couple of elements in there that can qualify my Christian jazz to be a Christian music while I'm not singing nothing?
Exactly, and I think so, because it is if God commands you to praise Him with sound, with cymbals, and with all of that. That means that if you prepare it for God, it's Christian music. Because when I listen to those classical music, Beethoven, all of that, I don't hear anything, but they have a very fancy name for that orchestra piece, and I'm like, what makes it? Why do you call it like that? So I think when they have those on it, it is the purpose with which they prepare it that makes it what it is. So I would say that if you sit down and say, I'm going to prepare a jazz for my God, you got it. It's a beautiful thing, and then you just put all the talent you have in it and present it and name it that this is for His glory. So I think it's a beautiful thing to do.
So Pastor Kwame, let me ask this. Is there any particular tone that have to come into a music to make it a Christian music?
Good question. I think when it comes to the audience or the Christians that you are ministering to or you are lifting them to God, they have already associated themselves with certain sounds. And so that is why it is sometimes okay to use what they are familiar with. But in a way, as a worship leader or as an artist, you are not limited to anything. So when something new comes in, you have to involve it. But if you are ministering to people that you want to help them come closer to God, then I think it's better you use what they are familiar with. So it's all about trying to bring them to what they know. That is why we'll limit you on certain things that they associate as Christian music.
But if not, no, I want to chip in something before you end.
Go ahead.
Now, they have something that they call New Age music. Now, if we look at the old days, the way they were playing music, it have really evolved.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, what we used to listen to, Wesley's and all those, have really evolved. So with you saying that we have them to let them listen to what they are accustomed to, it makes my mind a little bit, because the world moves.
Right.
So we can sit at the same
exactly time. So that is the tension between tradition and also being contemporary. But that's what I'll say, that you as the one leading them, the responsibility is on you to be able to carry them to God. That is the most important thing. So for example, if you look at churches, for example, when they have a playlist, they will have 3 old songs and then 1 new song. So that means that we have to progress them gradually, but don't limit to being old. Old doesn't mean better. You understand? So that is the tension there. But I'm saying that as an artist, you have to open up to new things, new sounds, and do that. But at the same time, remember what you are doing, so that you are not this far from the congregation. So you have to kind of start from what they know a little gradually to what they don't know. But that's kind of what it is. But there isn't any such thing as old is better, and the need to evolve is critical. If not, we lose a lot as a church. We cannot be relevant anymore.
That's really good. So our final question is, how do you see gospel music in the near future? Is it going to fade away and let something new come, or are we going to have a future testament, Old Testament, New Testament, and the future testament? How do you see gospel music in the near future? Is it going to stay forever?
Good question. Actually, a very good question. I think one thing that is happening, if you take a look at the world, is that social media is making the globe very small. And because of that, music are going to marry each other, and even the gap between secular sound and Christian sound is closing up. If you listen to K-Love radio, you can't tell whether it's a regular secular station or not. So we are coming to the merge. So what is going to happen is that there will be, I can tell that there's going to be a strong merge. But just like world history, we will come to a point where the merge will sound annoying to people, and people will like to go back again. So it's going to be a merge at the backward, a merge at the backward. That's has been the trend for most social. If you see the social experiment, that's what ends up happening. People are going to enjoy the merge, and there will be Christian reggae roots to Christian reggaeton, Christian whatever, and then after some point, somebody will say, we are tired of it, let's go back to our home. So it's going to be that back and forth, which I think end up being what human beings are used to. But the purpose is that we hope that in the midst of all, God will be the focus.
It's been nice talking to you, Pastor Kwame Champong. I hope we see you very soon. Thanks for tuning in and watching World Music. See you next week.
Thank you.